So today, my friends, I will take on the topic presented by Jacado Geek. And I quote, "How about doing a video on Lovecraftian occultism?" Now, there's been plenty of authors who have tried to connect Lovecraft to the occult. There's even been groups, black magic organizations, based on the Cthulhu mythos. One of them being the Cult of Cthulhu, headed by this individual who called himself Venger Satanis. I wonder whatever happened to that guy. And the truth is, even though Lovecraft was a genius who did his research into the occult, he wasn't what you would call an occultist. Now, my love of all things Lovecraftian goes way back. He's been near the top of my list of favorite writers since the early 1970s. Over the years, I've owned multiple volumes consisting of his stories written for Weird Tales magazine, having read just about every story more than once. My favorite being the Dunwich Horror, a tale of human degenerates, occult ritual, body horror, and interdimensional beings. I read essays and biographies about Lovecraft and even bought a copy of the Simon Necronomicon back in 1979, autographed in red ink by Simon himself. I ordered it by cutting out a coupon from the back of Heavy Metal magazine along with $30, but the volume was destroyed in a fire in 1997. And the copy I got to replace it also went up in flames in 2016. My connection to Lovecraft runs very deep, so trust me when I tell you, no matter how hard people have tried, Lovecraft cannot be placed within the pantheon of great occultists because he just wasn't. How do we know this? Because he would have stated it if he had. You see, Lovecraft wrote many, many letters, thousands of letters to his friends and pen pals. Actually, he wrote more letters than fiction, and because of this, we know what he thought on just about every fucking subject you can imagine. And if he were a believer in the occult, the supernatural and such, he would have revealed it, would have been open to it, and would have had no problem telling his friends and acquaintances. But he never did. Lovecraft did, though, admit to being a stone-cold atheist and a scientific materialist. He believed in matter and energy, and that was it. He saw the human animal as something that came about randomly, a fluke that came out of the void and will someday return to the void. And all this existence has no objective meaning. He came about this through his study of astronomy, learning about the age and size of the universe and how our planet is but a speck in the void. And his great old ones were metaphorical representations of this vast and different universe. A universe that doesn't give a flying fuck if you exist or not. But the old ones do have an effect on humankind, though, just as a lawnmower has an effect on ants in the grass. Even though Lovecraft only acknowledged the existence of matter, he did tap into something far deeper than the material plane. And that is what lies in the dark absolute of the collective unconscious. This philosophy he created is called Cosmicism, which would fall under the purview of existentialism. Now, he's not saying because existence has no meaning one should go out and kill themselves. No. Because Even though some of his protagonists hint that they're about to off themselves, usually it's because of them going mad over what they saw, the horrors they saw. I think all of them really wanted to live because that's where the conflict in the story lies. Otherwise, the story would simply be a depressing bit of nihilism. Lovecraft inventing the philosophy of cosmicism, to me, is something much greater than if he were simply a conduit for some outside force or beings. Because then he would just be a tool or a mouthpiece. The establishment of cosmicism shows real genius. Look, he created his own avatars of the archetypes, breathing life into that which usually only comes about in mythology. And that's not easy. I brought this up before, but mythology is something that can't be created just off the top of your head. Those ancient tales came about organically, slowly from the dreams and nightmares of various cultures. Tales that share a universal underlying theme connecting with the rest of humanity. Somehow, some way, Lovecraft accomplished that which could not be done. He manifested an effective mythology. So my friends, don't get me wrong. I would love it if Lovecraft had been a magus of some high order. But he wasn't. And no matter how hard anyone tries, it will never be so. Instead, he was an artist that tapped into our deepest fears in a manner no other author has been able to do since. Not on that level. But then again, that ability is a very special form of magic, if you think about it.